Day in, day out, it's a relentless routine. You spend so much time circling back, following up, chasing down. The system delivers on this promise: record what happens, store it safely, report it back on demand. There's never enough time. Time to think big, time to ask why, time to create something that matters. We think it's time now to expect the system to do more. It's time to think like we do, outcome-driven, guided by reason, proactive by nature, ready to adapt. So we built Fusion Agentic Applications to be systems of outcomes, to give you back your day, to handle the rote and repetitive, the busy work, so you can focus on moving forward. This is bigger than technology doing more. It's redefining how work works. You see, when momentum becomes a system capability, that's when technology stops acting like a tool and starts feeling like a partner. Let's move work forward together.
Welcome everyone to LinkedIn Live. We're here to talk about Fusion Agentic Applications. Couldn't be more excited. To get started, let's jump right in. It's hard to believe that it's been just a year since we launched Fusion AI Agent Studio. The velocity of technology delivery, of customer adoption has truly been incredible. I wanted to just take a second and walk you through just some of the statistics that we've hit over the last literally 12 months. I mean, just truly unbelievable. In the last 12 months, we've had over 73,000 certifications on AI Agent Studio. That's about 200 builders being certified every single day, just amazing. We have 10,000 active builders in the community. We have 7,000 customers that are using our AI services inside Fusion Applications. Amazing. We've delivered over 1,000 agents, and this includes not only Oracle seeded agents, and we've delivered hundreds and hundreds of those, but also our partners, our system integrators that are building vertical agents and seeding them in our marketplace, which is directly in our application. We have 250 marketplace partners. The innovation from my development organization is truly incredible. 50 pull requests, features going in every 2 weeks. Just amazing amount of innovation. We're going to talk about agentic applications, but we've delivered 22 of those, all around one unified strategy. And our focus and our strategy is to make AI the execution layer across Fusion Applications, allowing us to truly reason, decide, and execute work. We want to run your business inside Fusion Applications, and AI is gives us the ability to do that. Let's jump into where we've been, what this last 12 months has looked like. First, let me start with Oracle as an AI company. Truly transformed from our cloud infrastructure technology stack, training the largest frontier models in the world, to our technology foundation that really has provided us great technology foundations like 26 AI that we can build on top of, and delivering AI and AI agents across not only our industry applications, but Fusion applications. And what we've delivered over the last 12 months has been incredible. Hundreds and hundreds of AI agents that are available to all of our customers to take advantage of. AI Agent Studio, it's just been 12 months, 73,000 certified builders, unbelievable. We've delivered AI workflows, more deterministic AI automations can be built now, so just fantastic ability to truly automate work, leveraging AI. We delivered the AI marketplace, where we can now bring in our partner innovations and our partners can help make all of you, our customers, our joint customers, successful. But what's next? Seems like it's such a rapid pace of delivery. we took a step back, and with Fusion Applications, we wanted to really reinvent how work works. And that's simply what we've done. Let me start with, I'll say that it's the problem, but where we've been with enterprise applications over the last 30 years. And I've been building, and my team's been building enterprise systems for many years. And these systems were all designed the same way. They were designed to record what happened, help us execute tasks, provide insights, keep our data information safe. But the entire cognitive load, the entire need to move work forward always fell on the human operator. It always came down to us to understand what is the next step we needed to take. If we had to do analysis, we did it outside the system. If we had to get expertise, we went and sought that expertise outside of the system. It always fell to us. But with AI, it gives us the opportunity to completely change that model. We now have the ability to leverage this technology to build expertise into the system, build context so agents can understand and communicate with one another. They can have memory, they can share information, they can move work forward and partner with us to completely change how we deliver enterprise systems and enterprise applications. And that's simply what we've done. We're introducing, and I want you to meet for the first time, some of you, agentic applications, Fusion Agentic Applications. And let me describe them in a little bit more detail. When we decided to build this next generation enterprise system, this agentic system, we really took a step back and started from first principles. What should applications really do? What should they be? How should they behave? And we thought they should behave just the same way we behave in the enterprise. They should help us achieve outcomes. They should help us be able to close our books and meet all the statutory requirements we need to achieve. They should help us renegotiate our supplier contracts and reduce supplier risk. They should help us improve margins. They should help us achieve the outcomes that we come to work every single day to achieve. And that's what agentic applications will allow us to do. And so what agentic applications can do is bring all of that AI capabilities, all of the expertise, all of the knowledge, all of the reasoning, and help us execute work 24/7. And the relationship now between the human operator, and the system can dramatically change. No longer are we alone in this journey. We can partner with our system, and we can bring the expertise, or we can bring the oversight, the ethical decisions, all the things that we need to do to operate the system, but we can have a whole new level of capacity that comes along with it in our system, expertise, capacity to move work forward. Let's get into a little bit more details about what agentic applications are all about. Let me explain how, at least I do work, but most of us operate in our organizations. And I'll give you how that relates to agentic applications. So when we have a business problem or an outcome that we want to achieve, how do we go about doing that? We assemble a team, and that team is a team of experts, specialists. Each one has a skill that they bring to the table. That team of people, they collaborate, they exchange information, they get on Slack calls or Slack, and they get on Teams, they might get on Zoom calls, they communicate, they share how they've progressed to achieve that outcome to their management team, and they move work forward. And ultimately, they achieve the goal that they set out to achieve. Agentic applications are built the exact same way, except instead of a team of people that you're pulling together, you're assembling a team of agents that are collectively brought together to achieve an outcome. And these agents each have a particular skill. They have expertise built in. They have goals that are set for them. They have memory. They share context across all of the other agents that they're partnering with in order to achieve a particular outcome. That's what agentic applications are all about. They're about a team of specialist agents that work together all around a particular outcome that they're trying to achieve. We're going to go in and we're going to show you what those look like so you get a flavor, but let me give you kind of the anatomy of what agentic applications are all about. It's a completely reimagined system. We didn't just put AI on the side of our applications. We reimagined what and how we should build agentic applications to change the entire experience. And this is how the anatomy of an agentic application behaves. First, you have an information area at the top. That information area is Ask Oracle, and you can ask any contextual question about the business area and the outcome that you're trying to achieve. Always have the ability to change the direction of what's being done or to ask any clarifying question. In the information summary area, you'll see that is where everything happens. These agentic applications are really designed to help you move work forward. It's not a traditional dashboard where you come in and the entire cognitive load is on the human, is on me to understand what's happening and to take some sort of action. No, the agentic applications are built to move work forward. You come in, work has already been done. The system is telling you what is the absolute next thing that you need to do to achieve the outcome that's been defined in this agentic application. And that summary area is where all of that information comes together about what needs to happen next. It's the signal through the noise. In the third area, this is where all the priority actions. One of the differences between what I call sidecar AI or assistant AI and execution AI is the ability to commit work, to execute work, to run the business. And in the actions area, this is where work gets presented to you. What is the next immediate action you need to take in order to achieve the outcome that's been defined? And then you have a communication area. So if you need to communicate with customers, your management chain, other people within the organization, those communications are in context, they're built for you, and simply allow you to communicate whatever you need to do to move work forward. That's the anatomy of an agentic application. And now I'm going to walk you through a couple examples of agentic applications so you get a flavor for what these are like and how they behave. Let me start with one of our agentic applications called Sales Commander, Sales Command Center. Sales Command Center is an agentic partner to a salesperson. And the salesperson comes in and they have a team of agents that are working for them and partnering with them. And these agents have expertise, and this expertise is around renewals. So I have an expert agent that understands renewals, understands everything I need to know about what customers are renewing, what open issues they have, what pricing we've given them. I have customer insight agent that focuses on customer insight. I have an expansion agent, and I have a new business agent. And these agents, and I can have more, they collaborate, they share information, they move work forward. But I'm going to show you how the signal through the noise comes through. I don't need to understand everything that's happening in my business. I need to see that I have an active quote that the customer has sent back to me that I need to work on. And so I could create a revised quote, but I'm going to drill in and see what I should do and what I should know about this particular quote. So first, I see some of the reasons that this quote was kicked back. The AI, the LLM, is bringing all of this information to me, prioritizing it, and telling me, reasoning over everything, and telling me exactly what I need to know right now. But I can also ask questions. So if I ask a question about prior deals, I can ask that question. It'll look in the knowledge base, and it'll come back and say, hey, look, if you change pricing within these margins and within these guidelines, this is the probability of acceptance. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that, and I'm going to create this revised quote. And the system, again, is generating a revised quote within the margins. I'm going to accept that quote, let it move forward. But now comes the next step. I need to share that information with my prospect. So I'm going to go ahead and create a proposal summary. And again, this proposal summary is going back. It's giving me these are predefined templates. It's going back contextually, putting that new proposal into a nice format that I can share. I can download this to my system, and then it's teeing up a communication back to the customer or the prospect. I can attach that proposal and say, hey, let's talk about next steps. Here's a revised quote. So you can see, as an example, Sales Command Center is allowing you to move work forward. The agentic application is that business partner giving you significant more capacity. I'm going to give you one more example, and we're going to talk a little bit about how these agentic applications can not only be a partner to move work forward, they can also start to become an autonomous partner that can move work forward either with you, completely human in the loop, where I'm being delivered every action that I need to take, but I'm making the decision, or you can let the system move some of that work for you autonomously. And let's talk about what that looks like in the Workforce Operations Command Center. So Workforce Operations Command Center would be a system that maybe a head nurse would use. And a head nurse might have 100 different nurses working for them. And when they come into their work center, they have to understand, do I have full utilization across all my schedules? Has everybody committed time appropriately? What are shifts, what are drop shifts that some of our nurses need to take? And this person has to reason over that broad set of information in order to make sure that people are scheduled to the right bed for the right patient at the right time. So this is mission critical type work. We can have agentic applications help us do that. So here I'm being recommended to approve this and reassign this shift. So I can go ahead and do that. AI brings me the utilization rate, the lowest utilization rate from the nurse that has the right skills for the shift. I can accept that. But then there's recommendations, secondary recommendations that are here, actions that I can take that I can physically say approve all of the absences that don't have shift conflicts. So I'm going to go ahead and approve that. But I want you to just think that that secondary action is not an approval that maybe I need to make every single time. Maybe I can let the system autonomously approve all of those absence requests if they don't have a significant impact on schedules that are about to go out. I'll give you one more example of a potential autonomous transaction that we can just let happen. I might have a lot of time cards that have come in where some of our associates maybe they forgot to clock in or didn't take a lunch or whatever policy or regulatory requirement they might have missed. Instead of going through these time cards one by one, identifying the policy issue, sending them back an email, I can have AI identify the policy issue, identify what policy they violated, give them the example of what they need to do, and automatically send all of those emails out with a link to their time card and to the policy that they need to update their time card, so I can make sure all of the associates get paid on time, and I can go ahead and send that out. So those are activities that I could allow the system to help make for me. So those were some examples of agentic applications and the behaviors that we can now build in. And this truly allows us to begin to think about the evolution of enterprise software from systems of record, systems that recorded what happened, kept it safe, did the best they could with the tech. We did the best we could with the technology that we have, to systems of outcomes that truly help move work forward by bringing together teams of specialist agents in a new agentic pattern that can work together, make decisions, collaborate, and help move work forward with me. But the critical part of this is it sits on top of our system of record. So it sits on top of Fusion applications, so we can always be sure that the right permissions, the right security, the right access, the right workflows, the right actions are triggered at the right time with the right permission levels, and it's all 100% auditable. So always I know who did it, when they did it, what they did, what time of day they did it, and all the things that you need to understand in order for these agentic systems to be enterprise ready. Now, let's take a look at from a marketecture perspective. From a marketecture perspective, agentic applications are truly an architectural break. We started over reimagining how we would build an enterprise system with AI at its core. And so we built these agentic systems. They are objective-based workspaces where you bring together teams of specialist agents around a particular outcome that you want to achieve. You let them work together with you, partner with you to move work forward 24/7. And these agentic workspaces, they work on top of our system of record, on top of Fusion applications. However, you can bring specialist agents from outside Fusion applications. So if you've built a specialist agent in our AI data platform, you've brought data together, you've built an agent, you can plug that in to execute work in and around Fusion applications. If it's an external agent that you've built, again, through interoperability protocols, you can bring those agents in, put them part of the agentic experience, bring in those specialists from outside the system. It's like when the Avengers brings in, outside heroes. Same thing, you can bring in agents from the outside and allow them to do work. But not only did we give you agentic applications, and I'm going to talk about the 22 that we've delivered that are pre-delivered, we also gave you the ability to build and extend agentic applications. We're giving you an agentic application builder as part of AI Agent Studio. So not only are we giving you 22 agentic applications, we're giving you the ability to personalize and extend these on your own. Now, again, these are architectural break. We started over, new agentic pattern sitting on top of the transactional system, but our secret sauce, our advantage is our Oracle Cloud infrastructure, where we sit on top of a platform that allows us to scale, and it gives us access to world-leading frontier models that we can use, that we can seed inside Fusion applications, that you can use day in and day out. So this system, from agentic applications all the way through Oracle Cloud infrastructure, is completely differentiated than what any other vendor is able to complete. We can complete the entire stack and deliver this as one unified system to help you not just advise about what you should do, but actually run your business, execute work with you and for you. These are the 22 agentic applications that we've delivered. I showed you what some of them look like. I will give you one simple example. Actually, I'll give you two simple examples of how these behave. Sourcing Command Center is another great example of an agentic application. What these agentic applications allow you to do is take a broad surface area that is cognitively too broad for a human to understand. So Sourcing Command Center looks at demand, looks at inventory levels, looks at suppliers, looks at supplier risks, looks at sourcing events that need to get created. And the Sourcing Command Center can build that entire pipeline. It can understand where you have demand shortfalls or inventory needs. It can have specialist agents that create RFQs. It can have specialist agents that create negotiations, that create sourcing events. It can have specialists that understand negotiations and can provide awards to the winners of those negotiations. So you can create and assemble these teams of specialists that can work together across a very broad process to deliver an outcome. So the outcome from Sourcing Command Center can be, I want to reduce my supplier spend by 10 or 12%, and I want to reduce my lead times by 5 or 8%. And that is the objective that you give the Sourcing Command Center. And each action that is taken or recommended by the agentic application, it's reasoned over that outcome. So the action, the RFQ that gets created, the awards that get given to the suppliers always come back to that outcome that needs to be achieved. That's how this agentic system allows you to achieve outcomes just like you would in your enterprise. Plenty more examples. Design to source is another example as part of our PLM system. So I might have CAD designs come in. I need to understand for new product introduction. I need to understand what bill of materials I might be missing. Then I need to create sourcing events. Then I need to create RFQs. I need to award winners. That cycle of going through from new product introduction to getting the materials I need in order to deliver that new product can be time-consuming, tons of handoffs, a lot of people involved. Now we can build systems, agentic systems that can handle not only the cognitive load, but this broad surface area and partner with you to move work forward. Just another example of one of the 22 agentic applications that we've delivered as part of Fusion Agentic Applications. And I talked about the Autonomy dial. So this is really where, when you start to think about business transformations going forward, and if we have customers, but we probably have a lot of system integrators on the call. When we start to go in now and say, hey, how do we need to reimagine work? You need to think about how much automation do you want to provide for each role. Let's say I have a collections specialist and I need to scale that collections department up 30, 40% later in the year. Do I want to go from human in the loop to maybe human in the lead and allow some of those automations, some of those actions to be automatically taken? Do I want to make some of the process completely autonomous, completely hands-off? I could look at an HR shared specialist and go through that same decisioning process with these agentic applications. So now, when you think about business transformations, you have to think and reimagine what that workload needs to be like. Do you need to flex up, flex down? Do you need to change how these roles operate? Now, for the first time, we have the ability to truly get to elastic labor and give our organization and not be hampered by the current state of capacity that we have in any single role, completely changing how things work. So when we say we're reimagining work, and Fusion Agentic Applications are doing that, we truly are reimagining how work gets done, from producing outcomes to now the relationship between human and machine is completely different. Humans they can monitor the process, they can make ethical trade-offs, they can, if something breaks or is not working properly, they can get involved. But we can leverage the system and the machine and the expertise that we can build in to consistently work 24 by 7 for us. And no longer are we bound by the finite resources that we might have in any one single area. So truly reinventing how work works. So that was the kind of what I'll call the runtime part of the presentation, how the end user, how we can reimagine work for the end user. But on the back end, we have AI Agent Studio. And AI Agent Studio is the development environment that allows you to build, test, deploy not only agents, but agentic applications. And these are just some of the new capabilities that we deliver. I'm going to go into a few of these, but the level of innovation is just incredible that we've built and brought forward. So now I'm going to go into the builder side. So let's say I'm building agents. This is the Agent Builder platform, and we've moved from what I would call a kind of technical, functional person that needs to build agents to a completely functional user experience. Now, we can be completely no-code. You can use natural language to design your agent, design what steps, reasoning steps you want to build into the agent. Whether you're building an agent with tools, an agent supervisor and a team of agents, or an agentic workflow for AI automation, you can do that completely with natural language. And you can step through it just like you would in a application like Base 44 or Lovable. We'll talk about that in just a second, but you can use complete natural language to build these agents. You can also do that to build agentic applications. I'm going to show you what the builder mode looks like. It's a completely natural language interface where not only I can build the agents on the back end or assemble the agent teams that I need to assemble, I can build the agentic application on the front end. So let's jump back in. And let's build something together. So now, if you think about, or if you've used no-code builders like Base 44 or like a Lovable, where you can use natural language to build these applications, it's the identical experience, except one major difference. With Base 44 or with Lovable, you're building traditional transactional applications where the human operator still has to run those systems. With our agentic application builder, you're building agentic systems where the system can run itself or partner with you to run it. Let's show you how that works. So I'm going to start with a predefined example. But again, you could use natural language to kick off this agentic application build. It's now going to go into the team of specialist agents that exist in AI Agent Studio. It's going to assemble the team. It's like getting the Avengers team to come together. I'm going to go grab the agents that exist in AI Agent Studio, either in the marketplace or seeded Oracle agents, or agents that you've built as a customer you've built. So I'm going to go ahead and answer this question. And again, I could interact with this agent and ask more questions. It's going to go grab those agents, and now I could change this configuration. I could ask for more agents. Do you have any agents? Maybe I missed finance. And so I needed to get a finance agent in here. And it's going to give me a few examples to choose from. But I'm going to lay this out in a different layout. And I'm going to go ahead and publish this agent, or this agentic this agentic application. So in a matter of minutes, I've gone from describing what I want, and again, if this isn't right, I can go back into edit mode, and I could change the description and re-describe what I want, and the agents on the back end and the agentic system will modify itself and get updated. That is the future of how we're going to build these agentic systems that can do work with us and alongside of us. Okay, few other things we're going to hit before we're done, but truly revolutionizing how work gets done and how we can build these agentic systems. But what's important is we can measure the results. And so part of AI Agent Studio, we've introduced a ROI dashboard. So now we've gone down to the atomic unit of work. So each time the LLM makes a call or makes a decision, we have a calculator. And so we can calculate how much time is saved, how much money is saved, how much risk is averted. So directionally, you can understand and start to measure how you are achieving the outcomes that you've set out to achieve as part of Fusion Agentic Applications. So as we begin to recap what we've done, we've moved along the progression of what I call agentic patterns. These are different types of agentic patterns that get put in place to solve different types of problems. We started with AI agents, and we've delivered hundreds of them, where agents call tools. They can be built and delivered in the flow of work, and as you're interacting with different parts of Fusion applications, you can ask questions and get answers. Agent teams work very much the same way, where you have an orchestrator agent and you have agent specialists underneath, but each time you ask a question, it's farming out that particular request to a different supervisor agent. AI workflows truly bring AI automation to the next level, allow us to build these very sophisticated end-to-end AI automations where you can leverage LLMs for completions, grabbing information, put it in structured output, or for reasoning as a step in a workflow execution process. But these AI workflows, these AI automations end up in a predefined or predetermined path, which is great to automate work, but it's predefined. We've introduced a new agentic pattern, part of agentic applications. This agentic pattern is a pattern that revolves around an outcome that's been defined. And these agents don't have a predefined path. They're working 24/7 to achieve that outcome. And the pattern changes based on the inputs that are coming in. So this agentic pattern truly is the next step, the next generation of agentic patterns that we're unleashing on the enterprise. This is what Fusion Agentic Applications are all about. We also have an extremely robust ecosystem. This ecosystem has 73,000 plus certified builders, 10,000 active builders using the system day in and day out. And this allows not only our customers to get advantage, but our system integrators and partners can start to now reimagine how work can be done across the entire surface area of Fusion applications, whether they're leveraging agents, whether they're leveraging AI workflows, or now agentic applications to reimagine truly how work works. Customers, we have 7,000 customers that have deployed AI services across Fusion Applications. Here's just a few examples, some very, very large in communications, some medium size, some in healthcare, some in banking, across all industries. We're starting to see customers truly get value from deploying these agentic capabilities across our platform. So with that, we're going to end this LinkedIn Live. Few final thoughts. The innovation and the enterprise systems are truly changing. We're moving these systems of record to systems of outcomes, a completely different paradigm. And with Fusion Applications, Fusion Agentic Applications, we reimagined, we re-architected how we're building these systems. And we're focused differently than a lot of the other vendors out there. We're not focused on providing advice, saying, hey, these are the 5 things that you should do. We're focused on getting work done, running your business, helping you run your business. Fusion AI Agent Studio is that development environment that allows you to build agents, to build agentic applications. And we can do it from a no-code perspective, so making it easy for the business to build these. We have a significant advantage with OCI. Allows us to scale, to leverage the largest and best frontier models, and to run the entire stack end to end. And then finally, hopefully what you've seen is the velocity that we're delivering against not only customer adoption, not only certification velocity, but delivery velocity. That's part of what you need to do in order to stay not only relevant, but to keep up with what is changing with the introduction of all these great AI capabilities. So with that, I will thank all of you for attending this LinkedIn Live. Hopefully this is one of many. Hopefully you learned something today, and have a great rest of your day.